Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We are going to go ahead and do another one of those videos where I just kind of play the game, run around, talk about a few things, and hopefully you find it interesting. It's been a while since I've done one of these types of videos, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, mostly because November has been super busy. Just with all the updates and launches and things that have been going on, it's been a crazy month. So I really haven't had the chance to really just talk about anything that's not launch related. So I wanted to put this out there, mostly because I've been getting a number of questions around this topic recently, and they're all warranted. So I wanted to go ahead and just kind of rant and talk and just give you my personal opinion and my personal approach on a few things. Take away from it what you will. It's not. I'm not saying it's the only way or the best way to do things. It's just kind of how I do things. But before we jump into that, I do have to go ahead and let you know a few things. First of all, I normally do these videos in Immersis, but just because Farming Tales launched recently, I want to go ahead and give them a little run around also, as far as showing some more of the game, more of the areas, and just having some fun with it. So that's why we're running through Farming Tales instead of our typical Immersis. Nothing against one way or the other. Just thought it'd be fun since we've only done one video in New Axchester recently. Okay, so let's also go ahead and do my normal disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, so please make sure you do your own research. Make sure you do something that's right for your situation. Don't just listen to me because I'm playing a game and talking to a microphone. All right, now that's out of the way. The reason why I threw that disclaimer in here is because we're going to be talking about the way that I take a look at projects. As far as before I jump into them, see if they meet my quote unquote new standard that I've set out on a few other videos. And the reason is it's actually way more important than 10 months ago to make sure that you're picking the correct project out there, because it's many people are struggling right now with the bear market. You may see there's a lot of people that are losing their jobs, both in crypto and out of crypto. So if you're actually looking to get into a project, please make sure you do your own research and it is a good project. There's still so many people that are just jumping to a project because, hey, they can get a quick bunch of ROI from it, which is, I don't want to say it's the wrong approach. I personally believe it's the wrong approach, especially with the way the market is right now. And I think in general, it's the wrong approach to play to earn gaming. But you do you to each their own. I'm getting stuck here. I'm not gonna really tell you you're doing something wrong and I'm doing something right, because you do whatever's right for you. But I make sure that I do the research, and I'll kind of give you just a high level idea of what I'm looking at and what I go through, and some examples. I won't call out any specific projects because I don't want to do that here on this video. But I will give some examples of what I'm referring to as I'm going through this list. Again, this is just my high-level blueprint. I'll probably go ahead and do a more detailed video on this at some point down the road. Maybe the next time I'm looking to get into a project, I may go through the process and really show you, maybe do a multi-video series as I'm diving through a specific project that undefined right now, obviously. When I'm looking at a new project and I have some extra wax that I want to go around, there's a number of different areas that I look at. I don't just look at the atomic hub and see which one's ranked the highest and jump on board with that. If I did that right now at the time of this recording, I would be making in my personal opinion, a very, very big mistake. We'll leave it at that. But what I do is I go through multiple steps. The first step I do is I go to the project's website and the project's white paper, and I look at a number of things. One, does it just look super cheesy? I do the what you call the eyeball test. I take a look. If it looks pretty terrible, then I tend to move on. If it looks like it's a quality game and potential behind it, then I'll look into it a whole lot more. So I do that. Then I look at the gameplay, what it kind of looks like. Basically, is it a copycat? We were going through this long stretch and still going through a stretch where every other day, there would be a copycat game coming out. If it's a straight up copycat and maybe rethemed or all that fun stuff has the same tokenomics as some of the other ones, that's easy. Say no to that. Also, is it a simple clicker, 3 tokens, Farmer's World, copycat? Yeah, there's just so many of those, and it's so obvious nowadays. Now, if you're looking at those. In addition to that, I've highlighted this in a number of videos recently. I look at the project team now. You really, really need to start looking at the project team if you're not looking at it right now. There is a game that is one of the top games on Atomic Hub at the moment from a sales perspective. That is the team that's on the website is anonymous, but through the project team, I've identified that they are from a previous rug pull. I've said it a number of times in my Discord and on several other forums to just try and make people aware that the project owner is from this so-called rug pull. Again, I'm not going to call anyone out on this video, but it's amazing how people are still just ignoring that, and it is one of the top sellers on Atomic Hub still. For those of you that are buying into it, I really, really hope it works out for you. If it does, that's great. I just won't be involved in it. So you got to really take a look at the project team. If they're going to do a rug pull at one point, they're going to do it again at some point. They're just looking for the easy money. In addition to that, I'm also talked about this before. Future plans is there white paper or is there a roadmap? I'm sorry. Detailed? Does it have everything for the next half a year, 6 months, 12 months? Taking a look at that really in detail. Make sure it's not a generic copy of another white paper or another project that's out there. So you go through those details, at least I do. You'll notice that my list is actually pretty intensive. I don't just take a look at a project and jump on shiny objects. I really go through that. And then if they have any details in the white paper around the gameplay, just to be honest with you, most have very high level detail and don't really give much, especially early in the process around the gameplay. So it's not the best spot to look for gameplay details, but sometimes you'll get a little bit of a hint of what the gameplay is going to look like. Is it going to be a clicker for the rest of its time? Do they plan on doing either a 3D version or some sort of strategic version to it? Sometimes those details are in the white paper. After I go through the website and the white papers, I usually do a quick stop at Atomic Hub and end Nefty. And I want to make sure I focus on that end Nefty, because if you just do one or the other, it may not give you all the information that you're looking for. But first I check to see if they're whitelisted or verified. If they've been around for a year or two and they're still not verified or whitelisted, a big red flag there. I definitely avoid those and won't touch those. But if they've been around for a little bit, maybe they're verified, they're on the way to be whitelisted. That's something that a project team can let you know if they're going through those details. In addition to that, is if they're still early in the process, are they really, really pushing whitelist items that only gives you access to sales? If they have 1, 2, or 3 different types of whitelist items that only give you access to sales, no additional bonuses or in-game attributes, I guess you could call them. I hesitate with those. It's a red flag because it's really they're trying to sell high-ticket whitelist and then sell you something else after that. I don't like that approach. It's my personal opinion. And then if they are live, if it's a little later in the stages and they are active and they're live, I take a look at the volume. If their volume over the last 7 days or whatever it is non-existent, you kind of want to take another look at that. Right now in the market, the way the market is right now, you're going to get a lot of those because there's not a ton of people that are out there selling and buying. So I just take a look at that to make sure that there's no red flags there. And then once I'm done with Atomic Hub and Nefty, then next place I go is to the Discord. The project Discord. This can tell you a lot about a project. Talk in the community, ask questions, see what people are saying, even if you want to go in stealth mode. First of all, is the project team active? Are they in there? Are they talking to people? Are they answering questions? Or are they providing an announcement every several weeks and otherwise just non-existent? Those are things that you should take a look at. If they're non-existent, if they have no communication, it's going to be an issue down the road. Also, is the community, the players, or the potential players, are they super supportive, answering questions, super excited about the project, or is it a toxic environment? If it's a toxic environment, there's probably a reason that it's toxic. So just keep those things in mind when you're taking a look at some of these projects. Let's run over here and see I was looking for the amphitheater. In addition to that, check out their marketing tactics. As I mentioned before, there are some projects that will really, really, really push whitelist items. They'll sell like 100 of them, and it's only for sales. Or the other thing is they'll have a whole separate channel specifically around shilling their NFTs, and they'll give rewards for someone who does it the best or does it the most, who basically goes on Twitter, and anyone that mentions what's your favorite project, they're always talking about the same project, and they give out prizes for that. I think that's a little, I don't know. It's not a marketing tactic that I really appreciate. So take a look at those. Are they really pushing the game, or are they just pushing to get awareness out there and give prizes, even though a lot of people don't actually play the game yet? So. And then last but not least, it comes the gameplay. Comes the actual gameplay itself, which is really the hardest to judge early in the process, unless you're talking to the project team and they're giving you sneak peeks or they give you beta access. If you get access, alpha, beta, and all that fun stuff, then just see if you like the game. If they don't give you beta access, some projects won't, because that's just not the way they want to set it up. Then it's really hard to tell whether it's a game that you're going to like until you actually go ahead in there and able to play. But if I get beta access, I just see is it a game that I really enjoy playing, and then I move from there. Again, this is all high list, checklist items. Don't take it as set in stone. Every project's a little bit different. Some projects, the project team won't communicate great, but they have an awesome project that's very unique. Or sometimes it'll have similar characteristics to another project, but something in it makes it super stand out. So just all these little things. These are just high-level things that I take a look at when I'm going ahead. Hey, I just found I didn't see this in here last time I was running through here. So these are just the checklist items that I go through. And again, the reason I wanted to go through this list in this video is to really emphasize that you need to make good decisions right now. There are projects out there that are struggling, and they will have no issues just closing the project and walking away. And if that happens to you, you lose your whatever you invested or whatever you used to go ahead and jump into that project. All the NFTs are going to basically be worthless. And with the way the market is right now, there's a chance that good projects are going to have that issue also. It is what it is at the moment. So the more you can do to help yourself out, the better it's going to be overall. I'm really curious what they're going to put over here in this wide open space that we got here. I feel like it's there for a reason. These are the little homes that they had talked about auctioning off here shortly. Old Waxville or something, I think they call it. But behind it, it's interesting. I wonder if they're just going to use this as expansion. We'll see. They have a lot of space to expand on here. So let me run up the hill, and I'll go ahead and close out this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what are some of the other items that you take a look at. There's a number of items that I in more detail take a look at. I wanted to keep this very high level. Again, I get this question a lot. What are good projects out there? How do you find good ones? Not saying I always make the right decision, but I've been good so far. I've also made a number of mistakes so far. It's pretty simple. Everyone's going to do it. That's part of the way the economy is right now. You're going to make some mistakes, but you can do things to kind of minimize making those mistakes. I'm stuck in a tree. Actually, I'm stuck in a tree. So just make some good decisions. Don't fall for the shiny objects. I do it too. Just do what you can. I hope you like these kind of videos. Like I said, I tried to do it in Farming Tales, just to kind of celebrate New Axchester. Just did a lot of running around because I didn't have any things to craft at the moment. Immersus can be a little more entertaining just because it has the clicking and the collecting factor. Avalon, when that comes out here in the near future, we'll probably do some videos in there also. All right, I will stop rambling. I hope you all have a great day. Make some wise decisions. Do your research. Have a good time. Enjoy. Play to enjoy, not to just try and get ROI as quick as possible. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.